This conference will now be recorded.
So we used to call reference industries. We used to call reference industries. Sir, what is reference industry? If manufacturing, we used to activate manufacturing related modules. Service, only service related modules. Manufacturing with service. So combination. So only oil and gas related. If client specific, based on that, we used to extract and run the application. So we never say every client which implement all the streams. So for how to guide you the reference. So these are the modules at a glance or reference industries. First, let me discuss one by one. First one, finance module. What's the first one? Finance module. Heading. Buying and selling of goods and services. In other words, receipts and payments of the organization. Receipts and payments of the organization. Right? So company sale product, which department receive amount? Finance. Company purchase product, which department release the payment? Finance. Buying and selling of goods and services. Second one, controlling module. Guys, so if you choose any nature of industry, company heart is finance, right? But the finance heart is controlling. If you choose any company, the company heart is finance, means money. So the finance heart is controlling. Why? So if anyone said you, I recently started company, immediately which you asked you how much capital. What's the capital portion? Capital. Without capital, can you run? No. So what's importance of capital? What are the capital portions? Right? What are the sources of funds and what are the utilization of funds? Clear? So that is the importance of capital. Nothing but controlling. You invest something and you control something. What's that? You invest something and you control something. Controlling module. Clear? So now let me discuss controlling. Control the organization will. Choosing cost centers. No. Profit center. I repeat. To control the organization will. Choosing cost center. Profit center. Internal order. Commitment item. Production cost controller. Process cost controller. Bill of material. Etc. So these are the various tools to control the organization. To control the organization. Right? Next. Third one. So, sir, you said cost, right? Cost center. Heading. Cost center. Which explains cost centers are the organization unit, within a controlling area, that represents a location where cost incur. Incur means expenditure. Based on functional related, settlement related, activity related, region, section, department, and responsibility related. To monitor plan or actual values, standpoint, where cost is captured. Where cost is captured. Right? So this is the actual importance of controlling. So now see on the board. Cost centers are the organization unit. What is organization? Company. So cost centers are organization unit within a controlling area that represents a location where cost incur. So means where we spend actual values. Clear? Where cost incur based on either the nature of expenditure we derive function related payment, settlement related payment, activity related payment, region, section, department, and responsibility related to monitor plan or actual values. Plan value, yearly value, actual value, monthly value. Like for example, Vishwanath monthly salary 3 lakh, right? So into 12, 36 lakhs. 36 lakhs is my company plan value. Monthly 3 lakh is actual value. But no one company not to release 36 lakhs at a time. Means in their budget, they allocate 36 lakhs on behalf of Vishwanath employee salary. But in that, they release monthly 3 lakhs. So for example, 12 months they release. Can they release one more time? If employee try to post salary one more time, system says an entry already exists, right? Or the bucket close the particular year because salary paid. That is importance of cost center. But in that cost center, we have some derived line items are there. Next line, continuation. Choosing repost cost, repost controlling line item, assessment cost, or planning primary cost. Planning primary cost. So choosing any one client specific method. So we run this cost center. What are the 4 different methods we have? Repost cost, repost controlling line item, assessment cost, planning primary cost. Planning primary cost. Clear? So that I clearly says the finance heart is controlling. So what are controlling says in finance we used to run. Now let me run the remaining life cycles. First, the third one, material management. In bracket, procure to pay. In general market, we used to call P2P life cycle. Even in Naukri Monster also they mention. So implementation hands-on experience P2P or O2C. So P2P means procure to pay life cycle. Now let me check. First, user activity. What's the one? User activity. Instead I discuss end user or super user or key user, all are same. First, I choose one example. My product is S25 mobile, Samsung S25 mobile. In S25 mobile, what are the raw materials? Can I say motherboard, panel, battery, screen? Can we say these are the raw materials? Yes. Example, Randy. Example. Samsung S25 mobile. Raw materials like motherboard, battery, camera, screen, etc. etc. So these are the raw materials. So as user, here is purchase requisition one by one. First, purchase requisition. Purchase order. Goods receive. So let me understand what is purchase requisition. For example, our brand is S25 mobile, right? Our brand is S25 mobile. In S25 mobile, for example, the procurement team initially they check the warehouse. So what are the available raw material, the whole stock of S25. For example, for S25, 10 stock is available. So they need 100 mobile. Out of 100, 10 stock is available. How much they used to raise order? 90 new mobile. So in purchase requisition, they identify the new stock for order. Purchase order. They used to raise 90 mobile 90 S25 mobile raw materials. How many? 90 S25 related raw materials. Company receive goods related to S25. Fine. Company order S25 raw materials, but the vendor forward to company S24 related raw materials. Can company accept that? No. Why? Even S25 also mobile, S24 also mobile, but they need S25 related raw materials. So goods received. These three taken care by user. Taken care by user. Once stock received, as a finance team, what we do? We used to check in that good 90 goods, how many goods are good goods, how many goods are working condition, if any damage, what all the return policy. So, for example, all our company received goods are good goods. Invoice verification, and we will pay amount to vendor or supplier. Will pay amount to vendor or supplier. Right now, heading finance user. Finance user. Invoice verification and supplier payment. Invoice verification and supplier payment. Clear? So the procurement team, they receive the goods. So the finance team, they check and release payment to vendor or supplier. Observe the life cycle starting with the purchase, ends with finance. Starting with purchase, ends with finance. So procure to pay life cycle. Procure to pay life cycle. Fine. How many goods are available in our warehouse? 100 S25 related material. Now, then what we do? Production planning. Next module is production planning. In general, we used to call assembling unit. In general, we used to call assembling unit. What's the meaning of assembling unit? They take raw material, assembling the product, finally mobile is a finished good, right? So in general, we used to call assembling unit or plant or plant. So manufacturing related companies use product planning or process planning. Sir, what is product planning? What is process planning? Assembling raw material, mobile, it's a product planning. Means raw material, one product. Clear? Motherboard, one product. Camera, one product. Product planning. What is process planning? So human drugs like Reddy Labs, they used to make medicines, human medicines, right? And again, pesticides is a farming medicine. Those are comes under process planning. What are the two components? As a physical component, that is product planning. As a liquid component, we maintain process planning. Clear? So that I mentioned two things are there: product planning or process planning. Sir, why you are not mentioned product planning and process planning? Right? What is the so you mentioned product planning or process planning? Why can't you mention product planning and process planning? Fine. In mobile, do you have any liquid content? So my bike is TVS. Do I have any liquid content in that? Yes. Which one? After making, you just top up the petrol. You just top up that engine oil or liquid oil. That is the additional component. That is not make over the product. Right. Now my product is what to say? Some tell me one medicine name. Paracetamol bottle, liquid bottle. Paracetamol liquid. It's a liquidity, right? In that paracetamol liquid bottle, some ingredients are there. So they used to mention some mg like 0.25 mg or 0.5 mg or 1 mg. Multiple process together, they finally one liquid bottle. It's a process. It's a process. But product planning in the mobile, first they choose motherboard. After that, they add battery. After that, they add camera. After that, button, etc. Finally, mobile is a finished good. It's a product sequence pattern. But as a process, they're mixing the mg of component. Finally, liquid. The liquid they fill in the bottle. They fill in the bottle. That is process planning. So that either company maintain product planning or process planning. So they never maintain product planning and process planning. Two are two different layers. Two are two different layers, right? Be careful. Next, like, which explains cost sheet components. What's that? Cost sheet components. Like raw material, hyphen, hyphen. See on the board. WIP, work in process. And finally, mobile converted to finished good. Converted to finished good. Now, in my warehouse, how many finished goods? S25, 100 mobiles. What I will do? I used to sell to customer. For sales, again, we maintain one more life cycle. That is order to cash life cycle. Order to cash life cycle. At the time of product costing, I will discuss various components. Initially, just hold. Next, life cycle. Sales and distribution life cycle. Next life cycle is sales and distribution life cycle. In general, we used to call marketing team, sales team. They used to sell the product. In SAP, we used to call sales and distribution cycle. In other words, O2C life cycle. Order to cash. Order to cash. Even here also, starting with SD, ends with finance. Let me check one by one. First, SD user. What is SD? Sales and distribution user. First, there is sales quotation. Basically, sales quotation is optional. The life cycle starts from sales order. Sales order. Goods issue. So these three taken care by SD user. Next, finance user. Invoice verification. And customer receives. Customer receives. Fine. They mention quotation. S25 mobile at 1 lakh each. Sales order also S25 mobile at 100 at 1 lakh each. Goods issue, company issue, which brand? S25 mobile, quantity of 100. Invoice verification. For example, 100 mobile Samsung company which they sell to a lot. The lot company, what they do? They used to release 100 mobiles at 1 lakh. 100 into 1 lakh. How much value? 100 mobiles into 1 lakh. 1 crore. So lot company, they used to pay 1 crore amount to Samsung company. Customer receipts. Customer receipts. Right? This is the concept. Sales. Procurement department purchase material. Assembling department assembling the product. Sales department sale. Now, fine. Assembling team, some employees are working. Production team, some employees are working. Sales team, some employees are working. Plant, some employees are working. What company will do? Every month they used to pay the salary. Nothing but payroll. Heading payroll. Payroll. Employee salary payment. So, as Indian government, they clearly mention whenever we pay salary, we used to deduct 10% of TDS. What's the meaning of TDS? Tax deduction at source. What's that? Tax deduction at source. Which section? Section 192. What is 192? TDS on salaries. So we never violate accounting law. Clear? TDS on salaries, section code 192. Next. Logistic management. Stock transfer. So we never say every stock which we make in India, we have two components are there, within the country or country to country. First, within the country. Stock transfer within the country. In bracket. Inter and intra stock transfer. Inter and intra stock transfer. Sir, what is inter? What is intra? Next line. Inter transfer. Inter transfer means stock transfer one state to other state. Stock transfer one state to other state. In that case, we apply IGST or Union Territory GST. What is that? IGST or Union Territory GST. Next one. Intra transfer. Intra transfer means stock transfer within the state. So there we apply CGST plus SGST. CGST plus SGST. So from within the Telangana. So there we apply local taxes CGST plus SGST. From one state to other state IGST. Like from Telangana to Yanam, Telangana to Goa, Telangana to Delhi, Union Territory. Union Territory GST. Clear? So what are the two components within the country? Inter-transfer, intra-transfer. But some of the component which we purchase outside country or which we sell outside country. So country to country. Country to country. So observe in demo I mentioned business to business, business to customer. Within the country, two components are there, business to business, business to customer. But one country to other country, there we maintain only business to business. There is no business to customer. So this is a major channel. Heading country to country. So stock import or export one country to other country. One country to other country. So here what all the taxes will apply? Like import duty, import duty. Second one, export duty. Next one, customs. What are the things? Import duty, export duty, customs. Clear? This. So local taxes, GST. For import, import duty. Export, export duty. Customs, customs. So these and all comes under logistic management. Now conclude. What are the major function modules? Finance, buying and selling of goods and services. Controlling, to control the organization. Procurement, purchase to pay life cycle. So after that, production, assembling the product like raw material, working process, finished good. Sales team, to sell and distribute the product. Payroll, employee salary payment. And logistic, stock transfer within the country, either inter and intra transfer or country to country. These are all major functional modules. If you apply as a fresher, we definitely ask you what are the major functional modules in SAP. That time you have to present the sequence order. The sequence order. Clear? Next. Heading. How to log in SAP. How to log in SAP. First, in SAP we have two different type of server systems. Two different type of server systems. Like first one, education system. Second one, non-education system. What's that? Education system, non-education system. Sir, what is education system? What is non-education system? So what's the difference between education system, non-education system? Basically, education system, the importance of education system is student practice purpose, right? Then non-education system, client practice, all right? Now, education system in bracket sandbox client. Sandbox client. Non-education system, golden client. Sir, what is sandbox client? What is golden client? For what purpose we choose sandbox? For what purpose we choose golden client? Where it will affect? How it will affect? So these are the multiple questions in this area. First, let me understand what is sandbox, what is golden client, right? Heading, sandbox. Sandbox. Whatever we do in sandbox, will does not affect the server or client. Server or client. When we think if data is satisfactory, then we reconfigure data in golden client and transport to unit test client. Repeat, whatever we do in sandbox will does not affect the server or client. What's that? Server or client. When we think if data is satisfactory, what is the meaning of data satisfactory? Whatever client requirement, so whatever consultant configuration, if both are same, that is the data satisfactory. Then what we do? We reconfigure data in golden client and transport to unit test client. Means, observe, there is no direct interaction of sandbox client to golden client. Sandbox is a different system. Golden client is a different system. Sandbox, the importance of sandbox, student practice purpose. Or, for example, my product manager assigned a task to me. I'm not sure which I get output or not. What I will do, I quickly configure data in sandbox. Once I get output, I reconfigure data in golden client and transport it to unit test client. Transport it to unit test client. So as a student level, for easy understanding, sandbox is only for student practice purpose. What's that? Sandbox is only for student practice purpose. Basically, we are Indians. We just change whatever we want. As SAP terminology, they mention the name sandbox. But Indian people, they change the name IDES. Means sandbox is equal to IDES. Clear? Means అంటే జనరల్గా ఎస్ఏపి వాడు ఇచ్చిన నేమ్ శాండ్ బాక్స్, దాన్ని మన ఇండియన్ పీపుల్ చేంజ్ చేసుకున్న నేమ్ ఐడిఈఎస్. క్లియర్? సో ఐడస్ అనే వర్డ్ లేదు అక్కడ, మన ఇండియన్ మాత్రమే యూస్ చేస్తాం. ద యాక్చువల్ నేమ్ ఆఫ్ ఐడస్ ఇస్ శాండ్ బాక్స్. ఫర్ వాట్ పర్పస్? స్టూడెంట్ ప్రాక్టీస్ పర్పస్. మీన్స్ సో ద మేనేజ్మెంట్ విచ్ దే అసైన్ సర్వర్ టు యూ ఫర్ ప్రాక్టీస్. సో ద సర్వర్ ఇస్ IDES, means sandbox server. In real time, we configure data in Golden Client. Now, heading Golden Client. Once the data is satisfactory, I repeat, once the data is satisfactory, we reconfigure data in Golden Client and transport to unit test client. So I'm strong in configuration. What I will do, I directly log in data Golden Client and configure the data and transport to unit test client. Clear? Means as a student which you practice in sandbox. In real time, we configure data in Golden Client. Configure data in Golden Client. And one more example. Fine. First, let me understand our Indian terminology. Heading IDES. International Demonstration Evaluation System. What's that? International Demonstration Evaluation System. Now, let me expand one by one. First, international. What's the meaning of international? Globally. Means what's the meaning of globally? Worldwide application. Next, demonstration. Explains predefined application package. So what is package? Package is combination of, next line, package is combination of functional and technical modules. Package is combination of functional and technical modules. Next, evaluation system. What's the meaning of evaluation? Education system. Evaluation means education system. Note. Note. In real time, we use non IDES in bracket Golden Client. Golden Client. So this is the story of a real-time system and education system. So as a student, which we practice education system. In real time, we configure data in client system. Now heading, how to log in SAP client. How to log in SAP client. So client 800, username, like management will provide your username. Password, language, English, language, English, right? So I mentioned here, this is SAP logon GUI. Observe, what's the client name? 800. What's that client name? 800. In bracket mention, starting series 84, global education system. Observe, client number 800. What's the starting number? 8. 8 is always for education purpose. Means in real time, we never use 8 series. Real time ఎప్పుడు కూడా 8 series యూస్ చేయం. ఎడ్యుకేషన్ లోనే we use 8 series. Now let me check. So this is SAP logon GUI. See here, SAP logon GUI. Whenever I double click, so here I have client system and education system. First I log in education system. The client number 800, and here my username SAP user, password, language EN. What's the language? EN. Page open. All right, fine. Sir, how to log in client system? First of all, if you want to log in the client system, we used to get permission from client. So nothing but remote or virtual connection. So this is my virtual connectivity. So this is a client login. Observe login. Observe what's the client number here? 100. I clearly mentioned starting series 8 for education. But here there is no 8 series. Here we have 100 series. The page, look, everything is same. Appearance, everything is same. But the logins may vary. Clear? So whenever you mention the client number 8, that is for education purpose. So this is only for here in this system, only client data is there. This is the only difference of education system and client system. Education system, like in education, so 100 people are practicing. Every data source in the same server. In Samsung, only Samsung company data. Reliance, only Reliance data. Sony, only Sony data. That is client system. That is the client system. Hope you all understand the difference between education system and client system. Almost all real-time scenarios which I discuss in client system only. That I only have a clear understanding of what all there is, how to get errors, so how to resolve the errors, and what all the documentation needed for resolving the errors. Clear? This. So tomorrow class will discuss what all the menu applications. Already we opened the page. In that some menu icons are there. And SAP's application, some shortcut keys are there, some operators are there. So tomorrow class we'll discuss those things, and tomorrow I will guide you how to create a parent company, how to create a subsidiary company in SAP. One by one we will discuss. One by one we will discuss. Right? Now, questions please one by one. Already management created the drive, WhatsApp drive. So please check. Some numbers added in the group. If not, please update to management. They will add your number in the group. And I used to share the drive access. Clear? In the drive, I clearly mentioned the Word file and the recording file, everything. Yes, Ashish, Basha, any questions from your end?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please question.
Sir, actually, in our designation,
Hmm.
actually, what we will use, like SAP consultant or end user, sir?
No, here they're designated as SAP FI associate consultant or junior consultant.
Okay, so,
End users are
so,
totally different. Here we learn both the things, consultant part as well as end user part.
okay. But in real time, we will use a
So
consultant one.
we are consultants, we are IT professionals.
Okay, okay. So, may I know that difference, sir, once in consultant and end user?
So for example, for your client is DMart, right? So you are the person to
Yes, sir.
configure entire DMart. The billing counter people, they do billing, they are end users.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So without your configuration, they don't do billing, right? So as a consultant, we deploy the data, choosing the client specifications. Then the billing team, they used to do billing, right?
Okay.
Yes, classroom people, question? No questions. Everyone received yesterday's recording file. Clear. Right. The next 30 minutes which you receive today's recording also. Clear? Right. Thank you.